Welcome everyone, and today I'm joined by Peter Knight, who is the boss man of the Property Academy and the chap that organises the Best Estate Agent Guide Awards and the EAMasters. Thank you for joining me today, Peter.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure, and thank you for having me, as my mother taught me to say.
Thank you very much, Peter. Peter, you are running the EAMasters on the 8th of October 2020. Why should estate agents spend their hard-earned cash going to this event? What's in it for them?
Well, it's a great question, as always. I mean, it's entirely up to them whether they do or not, as it is every year. This year, the base rate ticket price, we've managed to pull it down to under 50 quid. So from 299 last year, one of the great advantages of going virtual is our ability to actually pull the ticket price down. And of course, people don't have the costs associated with travel and accommodation and so on. So, I suppose the value judgment has to be made on the basis of what do I get for my 50 quid? Is it worthwhile? And we very much hope it is. We've got 40 speakers, 28 hours of content in total. The speaker lineup is quite extraordinary, we think. Not the headline, of course, was Seth Godin, which we've just announced recently, which for those who are not aware is probably regarded as the leading marketing person in the world, author of 19 books. 6 million people view his blog every single day, and to my mind is one of the most visionary thinkers of all time. So a ticket to see Seth normally, and I've paid £500 to go and see Seth Godin live, and joining 2,000 other people, by the way, and flying to the United States in order to do so. We're bringing him to your home. Everyone gets a front row seat, so we're bringing him to your home or your office for under 50 quid, plus another 30 speakers. So yeah, I'm pretty good to go here. Chris, some agents will say they're too busy, which I understand. Some agents are going to say, there's nothing that they can learn, which I don't understand. But for those who are worried about the timing, we've actually managed to put the event over 7 days. So it'll be broadcast live. The whole thing will be broadcast live on October the 8th. But then delegates will have the ability to watch on catch-up, every single session on catch-up for 7 days afterwards, which will be available 24/7. So, they'll be able to pick and mix the different sessions that they want to see. And they'll also, of course, be able to see the latest innovations and products and services. We've got about 40 different companies exhibiting, and every one of them has been asked to bring something new to the event. So on the day, there's going to be, there's one thing which is extraordinary. I can't wait for it to be unveiled. It's a massive, massive bit of prop tech, which is extraordinary. But everybody is bringing something. So on the day, those who come will be the first to see at least 40 different new product and service innovations as well. So, gosh, I hope that represents good value, but,
So, I mean, what you're basically saying is that there's just under 30 hours worth of content spread over 7 days. That's working out at just under £2 an hour, which is really good value for money, isn't it?
Yeah, each session is just over £1. Actually, with hindsight, I wish I'd got 49 3/4 sessions, because then I could have said it's £1 a session. But yeah, it's just over £1 a session. In effect, Seth Godin it for £1.
Talking specifically about marketing in a estate agency.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not an estate agent. He's not. There's enough of us there who are. But I had a great conversation with him over Zoom, and he got it straight away. He asked me what are the issues estate agents experiencing, and I decided to describe it. And he told me what was going on in the States, and he said, look, at the end of the day, estate agents have either got to find a point of difference, they're going to be able to differentiate themselves, or he said they can join the pack in the race to the bottom. And as soon as he said that, I thought, this man properly understands it. And one of the great things about Seth Godin is that, unlike perhaps some of the other big names on the sort of speaking circuit, the big authors, he tends to focus much more on the SME type sector rather than the big corporates. I mean, he can transcend across all sectors. But someone like Michael Porter or Gary Hamill tends to be much more focused on the very big organisations and use them as their examples. Whereas Seth tends to really, really get down to the, if you like, nuts and bolts of the economy, including estate agents. Actually, he's done quite a lot of work studying, I should say, in the real estate sector, and particularly in the States. So yeah, look, he's to my mind, he's an absolute legend, and I can't believe we've got him, actually. I'm thrilled to bits.
So the ticket price is probably worth Seth twice over. So that's excellent. So who else have you got? I mean, more specifically, have you got any agents chatting and talking? Because again, you know, I think it's important that we actually listen to other people in the industry who are being there and doing it. Have you got any agents involved with this?
We have, Chris. Yeah, we've got principally we've got 8 agents from the UK, and we've got 5 from Australia. So in the UK lineup, we've got people who I think you've had on the sofa a few times. We've got people like Spencer Lawrence of Paramount, who to my mind is one of the best lettings agents in the country. We've got Richard Palfreman of Northfields. He's actually joining Spencer in what we call our 2x stream, how to double your profit stream. And they're going to talk about cost cutting and efficiencies. And Richard is one of the best I know at keeping a lid on costs and properly analysing every aspect of his business. Richard is really, really first class in that. In our masterclass stream, we have Samantha Hossack of TLC in London. She's the head of lettings for TLC, and they've got such a great business and a great block management business. She's joined by Angela Horn, who's a director and shareholder of Thompson Hayton Winkley in the Lake District, a really, really vibrant business that I predict is going to be doing great things with her and her colleague Claire, who have taken over as the principal directors. They really are going to drive that business. We've got Mark Ross of Red Brick, who is, I think, one of the, he in fact was on the stage at the EAMasters last year, and what he's done since, he's done so many pioneering things. It's just absolutely brilliant to have him back. And we've also got Carl Judd, who I was recently asked, who is the best estate agent in the country, which is a horrible question to be asked, because I mean, you've got to pick one. Who on earth would it be? But I did manage to sort of swerve it a little bit by mentioning a number of them, and Carl was right at the top of that list because he runs Ashton's, which is a fantastic business. And he's going to be joined in the leadership stream by Vicky Babiris. Vicky is absolutely just an absolute pocket rocket. She's just so dynamic. Yep. And then we have Deborah Richards. Deborah is the owner of Madison's in Tunbridge Wells, or should I say Royal Tunbridge Wells? Deborah would pick me up if I didn't. She's a former city banker, and she was principally looking after very high net worth individuals. And she set up her estate agency business, not based on traditional estate agency values, but on what she learned about high net worth individuals and how to manage them. So we've got I think an absolute stunningly lineup from the UK.
Peter,
and we've got the Australians as well.
What about the best estate agent guide? How's that changed from last year?
Yeah, well, it has changed a bit. I mean, in some ways it's the same. In other words, it's changed. So basically, same principle. Every single branch that is on Rightmove is automatically entered, and if a branch is not on Rightmove, agents could enter themselves by supplying data, and a number have done. Every single branch is then analysed based on a whole wealth of criteria over 3 billion different data sets, as we've done over the previous 3 years. It's a massive undertaking, massive exercise, and the same principles applied. What we've done, though, is we stopped it at the point of lockdown. So what we said was, we're not going to analyse the performance during lockdown because there's just too many variables and too many unknowns, and we didn't feel it was fair or appropriate. Some areas, of course, had tighter restrictions than others. Now, that only lost us a couple of weeks over our normal assessment period, so it doesn't materially impact. We ran it from the date of the last EAMasters, so last October, right the way up until March. So we lost a couple of weeks, but I don't think it will materially impact.
And are you putting a shortlist out, or will just?
We're not, Chris, this year. No, in fact, because we left it so late, we also didn't want to do the mystery shop during the lockdown period because we thought it was pointless. We also didn't think estate agents would thank us, quite frankly, to adding to their already considerable burden of handling the volumes that they've had to during furlough.
Like the top performers from the numbers from Rightmove, then.
Yeah, so basically what we've done this year is we've said, okay, we will mystery shop those who are in the running for a cup, the top of the top. And we've actually done that exercise, but genuinely, I have not yet seen the results of the mystery shop and the data combined. So we can't publish a shortlist because we left it so late, as late as we possibly could. And that data is now being crunched together. And 8th of October, that will be the first time that anybody finds out whether or not. But the same principle applies. The top 20% of branches will go into the guide. They'll either be rated as exceptional, excellent, or highly rated, exactly as before. And again, for sales and lettings. And then the top branches are amalgamated as brands or as agencies, for which we will announce. But it's about the top 3 or 4% of firms who win awards. And then from those, we will identify those who are the best single, small, medium, large, and national for lettings and for sales. And then from there, the overall best for sales, best for lettings, and best for sales and lettings combined, who will win the trophies. So it's broadly the same principle, but the mystery shop is much smaller this year, and the data, as I say, has been shortened down slightly by a couple of weeks because of the COVID-19 period.
Okay, so one final question. Let's bring it back to the EAMasters. You mentioned getting ready for the next normal, and that's why you've got the leadership stream, the marketing stream, the 2X stream, which is, you know, helping outsourcing and helping people with their costs, and also the masterclass is the best in class. Are we in the new normal now?
Oh, definitely not for me anyway. You know, I went out today, went to the gym. You know, I had to go into a shop, put a mask on. You know, put a mask on. That's not normal. You know, I'm not able to come and sit on the famous Watkins sofa. We're having to do this over Zoom. That's not normal. You know, I want to have that YouTube cushion behind me at some point. I'm envious of others who have had that chance. But seriously, I think we're in what I call the awkward bit in the middle. So we've got the old normal, which is not coming back. We've got the next normal, which will happen at a point in time, and we're in the awkward bit in the middle. And look, you have to navigate the awkward bit in the middle to have a chance of getting into the next normal, right? You've got to get through this period. And I'm amazed and just so gently of how well so many agents have navigated the most testing conditions that I've seen in 40 years in this industry. They're just, I mean, quite frankly, you know, medals should be commissioned and handed out for people for what they've managed to achieve in this period. I think it's been extraordinary. But what we've got to make sure is that we're ready for the next normal. And, you know, we can't really get ourselves geared up for it. And it's a very different environment than this one now. And therefore, the EAMasters this year is very much focused on what it's going to look like. And we've got a whole wealth of talent for that. We've got Roger Martin Fagg, who's going to talk about the economy in 2021. And by the way, he called it perfectly back in March. He called the V-shaped recovery, all those 10, 20, 30% price reductions, you know what, they changed some of them. They were so sort of profound about it. Roger said that's not going to happen. Roger was right. We've had a V recovery. He's speaking about what's going to happen in 2021. We've got a futurist called David Wood, who we work with at the Property Academy as well. He's going to be talking about some new trends. Seth Godin's going to be talking about the trends. And of course, Rightmove, who are our principal partners, are going to share with the audience their latest insights from all of their consumers that they interact with and what they're searching for, what they're looking for, what differences people, or what people are putting priorities onto now, which they weren't before. So all of this information is going to be shared. And we've also carried out the biggest ever home moving trends survey, Chris, where we interviewed 34,058 people who are in the process of moving. Dataloft have done all the analysis for us, all the brainy folk there. And we're going to be giving anybody that comes, right, we're going to be giving them the executive summaries of the surveys. Now, you asked about value at the top of this. We normally charge those out at 200 quid, 199. We're including that within the £49.75. So, you know, they're going to get all the survey summaries from this, the biggest survey we think ever undertaken of people actually moving at this point in time. And we've asked them, because we've managed to do it in the sort of, you know, post-COVID environment, or during COVID, I should say, environment, about their attitudes towards moving, what's important to them in their homes right now, their selection of agents, how safe they feel, and all the above. Plus, what their likelihood is from an investment perspective. Are they going to, if they're landlords, are they going to be increasing their portfolios, reducing their portfolios? What they feel about the new, you know, tax regimes, what they feel about the new legislative environment. So it's just crammed full, and you know, quite frankly, it'll take 7 days for people to be able to digest it.
I'm not joking you, but those reports are priceless. They're worth 50 quid on their own, so and double that. So
Thank you. Well, I hope so. And look, again, what we're seeking to do is genuinely this year. We seek to do it every year, but this year even more so. We've asked ourselves, how can we be useful? How can we deliver value to this industry? How can we help agents to prepare themselves and get themselves into great shape for the next normal? And that's basically the basis on which we decided to really go for it on the 8th of October.
Peter, thank you for your time today. We'll put a link in this post for anyone that's looking for the tickets. Peter's not paying me a penny to do this video. It's just that Peter is a great asset to the industry. He's a good friend of mine, and I offered to help him spread the word on the EAMasters and the Best Estate Agent Guide Awards. I, on behalf of the industry, Peter, would like to thank you for what you're doing. You are an absolute legend, national treasure status in the estate agency, and thank you very much. But we all know that it's Sarah that does all the work.
Well, we do know that. Seriously, Chris, it is really very, very good of you to do this, and not just with me, with all the others that you help and assist in terms of getting the word out there. So, back at you, mate. Thank you very much indeed for your time today, and thank you for this.
Enjoy doing it. It's a great profession to be in, isn't it? Estate agency, and the thing is that once you're in, you can't leave. It's like the Hotel California, and anything we can do to spread the love and spread the word on what good estate agents are doing, it's not a bad thing. So thank you very much for your time today, Peter, and thank you everyone for watching this video. Thank you.
Thank you.